Today we'll be painting a standing gnome. For the first step, you will need a pencil, and we're going to draw a line that separates the hat from the body. So I'm just drawing a line across the gnome towards the top. It's slightly curved, but you could just draw a straight line if you need. After that, we're going to draw a circle or an oval for a nose. And then following that, we will make a line that separates our beard from our feet. I just made this a little zigzag just so there's a little texture to the beard. So we have three distinct parts. We have, four. We have our hat, our beard, our nose, and our feet. The first step is we are going to open up our paints and we are going to paint our beard white. Stir around those paints, they might be a little separated. So paint the whole beard white, including the sides. Once I finish my second coat on my beard, I'm going to make some gray paint. I'm just making on a little piece of paper. This gray paint will highlight our beard. So I'm just going to put it around the edges of our beard just to give it a little more texture, because painting's all about showing texture on a flat surface. So to make the gray, I just use black and white and black, just a little more white than black. And as you could see, I painted over my nose too. That was just easier to do a little bit. But we'll come back and paint that after we finish our beard. For the next step, with a clean brush, I'm going to start painting my nose. I'm going to make my nose red, but it has a little white on it already, so it's going to mix and make a pink. You can make your nose whatever color you like. Just take your time and go around the outside and then fill in the middle of your nose. So I added red and already had a little white, so it's going to make a pink nose. Move around your gnome so it's easier to paint. And once you're finished with that nose, you can wash and dry your brush, because we are going to move on to our little hat. So I'm washing it. I actually took a little paint off of it just to spread my nose paint. If you have thick chunks of paint, it might take a little while to dry. So I just spread my paint out a little bit. So now I'm going to wash and dry my brush out, and I'm going to paint the gnome's hat green. So I'm going to do probably 2 coats, and I'm going to do the sides as well. So paint your gnome's hat green. Once the hat is finished, wash and dry that brush out again, and you could pick any color you'd like, and we're going to paint our gnome's feet. I'm going to use this light blue. Once I open it, I'm just going to mix it around just because it might separate a little bit. So mix it around and then paint your gnome's feet. Once your gnome's feet are finished, we're going to go and use our small brush because we're going to start adding details. We're going to add a white light reflection in the left side of our gnome's nose. So you're just going to put a little white line on the left side. I curve it a little bit. To add some definition to the beard, I'm going to wash and dry my brush and use some black. And I'm just going to add some black lines around the outline of my beard. It doesn't have to be a solid line when you outline it. You could just use like little V's and little line segments to outline that beard. While I have black on my brush, I'm also going to add some defining lines to my nose. So on the outside of my nose, on the left and the right, I'm just going to add a black curve line. That's just going to add definition to our nose. After that, we'll move on to our hat and add some little, I figured it's almost springtime, so we'll make it a springtime gnome. So we're going to add a little detail with the back of our paintbrush to make some flowers on our gnome's hat. So for the next step, I am going to use the back of my paintbrush and some blue paint. I'm using the back of my small paintbrush and I'm just going to put dots in my gnome's hat. You could do these any colors. I think the light blue is nice because I painted my shoes the light blue. So I am just going to add light blue dots, and then eventually we'll add little white petals. And you are using the back of the paintbrush to do this. Now we will start adding some white details. I'm going to add 2 little stripes to my feet just to give it almost like he's looking like he's wearing sneakers almost. So I just added 2 little white lines in my shoes. And then while I'm using my white, we're using the regular side of the brush, not the back of the brush any longer. I'm going to start making some petals on my flowers. So I'm just going to take my little brush with a little bit of paint and I'm going to go around each dot, adding little petals, just little lines around each dot to make little flowers. only going to add like 2 or 3 flowers, but I think that looks good now. So once you're finished, you're just going to let this dry, and once it dries, it's a great spring decoration. Hope you guys had fun.